And we're live. Welcome to the OUYACast, episode 30, recorded on Sunday, September 14th, 2014, your weekly source for the latest news, games, and hacks for OUYAns everywhere. I'm Brandon from OUYACentral.tv.
And I'm Steve from OUYabrew.com. Thank you guys for joining us for episode 30.2 of the OUYAcast. And for those of you who aren't going to get that joke, because this will all be hopefully fixed on the back end, we just tried to do OUYAcast episode 30, got about 20 minutes into it, and then, lightning knocked out the power for a couple of seconds, and that caused us to basically have to completely shut this whole thing down. So if you're listening to this, this is take number 2, and yeah, thank you. What's funny about that is, for those of you who don't know this about us, Brandon from OUYACentral.tv and myself from OUYabrew.com, we both live in the wonderful state of Florida, which also happens to be the lightning strike capital of I think it's the world, but it's definitely of North America. And so yeah, it's amazing how easily power gets knocked out around here, and I've had like battery backups on my PC and all that, but I find that they're just about useless because unless you get like one of those $800 battery backups or like the super protection, it doesn't really do much. It still knocks you right out. So
You gotta get those generators to generate your whole house.
yeah.
Like a hurricane when hurricane season comes.
Absolutely. Well, what's funny is it was storming here earlier pretty bad for, about 15 minutes because that's all that happens in Florida is, you get about a 15-minute little micro storm and then it passes over. So, before we even started the last OUYAcast, the last attempt rather, the storm was gone. It wasn't raining. It's, the sun's shining again. It was like, okay, we're all good, no problem. And then just out of nowhere in the middle of me talking, it was just like, bam, done.
Yeah, yesterday when I was driving to work, I had like an hour drive, and the whole way there it was raining, then it stopped. Then it started raining, then it stopped. It was like back and forth, back and forth. I'm like, oh man.
Well, what's funny is I was listening to the replay because I couldn't rejoin the last video conference. I was listening to the replay when I cut out, and like you just sat there for like 30 seconds. You're like, hello? Oh man, what are you gonna do?
So back to the OUYAcast. Ouya has a back to school sale this week. They have Final Fantasy 50% off. Final Fantasy 3 for 50% off. It's $5. Meltdown 50% off. Rose in Time 50% off. It'll Do 20% off. The Ball for 50% off. Another World 50% off. Laza Nights 50% off. Boulder Dash and Shuttle Rush, and Boulder Dash is 25% off, and Shuttle Rush is 50, and that's good until September 16th, which is this Tuesday, and then hopefully you'll have some other good games on sale next week. That's all, like the biggest news in Ouya this week. It was really kind of quiet this week. We had a couple of games that got funded on Kickstarter that are coming to the Ouya. There is Kalina, some like Hands in the Kitchen. I probably messed it up already. Hands in the Kitchen, yes, I got it right. And then there's also Stash, the No Loot Left Behind, and Super World Karts, which is like, I'm excited for that game because it's a Mario Kart style game that has a lot of cameos from different Ouya game characters, like Turney from ROM. There's Total Temple dudes from Total Temple Deluxe. There's the Duck from Duck Game. There's the 3 characters from So Many Me, and then there's Lobo Destroyo. That's in a game that's been kickstarted too, and that game's probably coming out next year. And a lot of other indie game characters, which that game looks like a real. That's their second time doing that Kickstarter, and I'm glad they got funded this time.
Yeah, I was really surprised they didn't get funded the first time because it looks amazing. But then again, I've seen games that look amazing, and then you actually get to play, and it's just kind of like, eh. But
Right.
No, that looks really amazing, and I do want to see it. And I love that they implemented a bunch of other Ouya characters and stuff like that because
Right.
that's just a really kind of cool thing about the Ouya community is you can just go, hey, can I use your character? Yeah, okay, no problem, it's all good.
Yeah, no, he was trying to get the frog from Amazing Frogs, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. But hey, hopefully it happens like in a future update. I was thinking like that he should have like a like for the Ouya version only have like some exclusive characters like Amazing Frog, Super Pixalo from Phil Royer. What other characters that are like they're like games that are exclusive to the Ouya, and like he should be able to implement those into like a separate Ouya version. That'd be cool.
Well, I don't know if Super Pixel is gonna work, man. I mean, he doesn't really have hands, so that'd be like the worst cart driver ever. I can't turn.
They can they can make him look like that the Ouya guy, because like there's a Ouya character guy. He has arms and a head, and his body is shaped as a Ouya.
There you go.
And then, yeah, then there's the guy from Fist Puncher. I got his name, John Burr, I think his name is. Can't remember. Oh, I'm slipping. I'm supposed to know these things. This is the OUYAcast.
Well, I know you're my wealth of knowledge. I do the ramblings. You're supposed to know the facts because my mind is already mush, so I can't. I don't remember anything. I
Yeah,
play video games. That's all I know.
some other good games that are coming out as The Sun Also Rises got kickstarted, and then the a Right from the Star
Hmm.
stars.
A ride to the stars or something. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
We're pitching that one. That looks like a pretty cool idea. And I've said this in the past, though. I don't understand quite how point and click games are going to work on Ouya, but I'm sure that they'll implement the controller somehow.
right. Yeah, we talked about that before. What you call it? That Broken Age is like a click point and click type of game, and also like there's a couple more games on the Ouya right now, or that are on. There's some on the Ouya, and then also there's some on the Kickstarter Free the Funds thing right now where uh, they're click and point type games, which yeah, it, it's kind of different because like we're not used to clicking and pointing with a controller.
Well, what was it? Mind Test. That one worked out pretty well. They just had like a little blue selector that you moved around with your thumb pad, and then you press like one of the R buttons or something to select, and it works pretty good. So I
Right,
guess if they did something like that.
right, yeah.
But so yeah, I mean, there's a lot of really cool games coming out, and I'm kind of wondering when they're going to reach that 1,000 mark. It's got to be soon.
Yeah, we're at 200, 926.
Not 200. Oh my God.
I was dyslexic right real quick. I had to switch the nine and the two.
It
But yeah,
happens.
yeah, 926. So they're coming up on it. And I mean, there's quite a few games that we mentioned before. There's quite a few games that are in development, and there's some that are about to come out. So they're definitely going to hit that 1,000 game mark.
Before the end of the year.
I believe so. I have faith in Ouya. That's what 74 games.
Yeah, it's not too bad. You can do that.
There's quite. I mean, there's people coming up with games in couple hours and 24 hours. They're having game jams every now and again, and I think it's possible. I'm
It
actually
definitely
trying to
is.
work on a game that I'm keeping top secret. Uh, our our Ouya favorite number one fan Tozil that created our apps for us. He's creating a game. I haven't been able to try it out yet, but there's quite a few people out there that are developing games they're talking about them and they're in development. There's some that are not talking about them, like me and others probably. And then we have that Reagan Gorbachev that's coming out hopefully this month, either next week or the following week, because we only have like 2 more weeks in September. So hey, who knows? We'll have some more games to talk about next week.
I'm actually starting to develop as well, mainly because I finally think that I know what I want to start doing it in, and it's one we talked about last week, which is the Construct 2 engine. I've been
Right.
messing with that this last week. It is, matter of fact, hold on. Let me just screen share here. It is
Ooh, yeah.
so easy. So easy. Can you see this?
Uh, Yeah, you gotta talk. All right, here I put it on you.
Oh, okay. So I don't know if you can see this. This is just something I was messing around with, and let me see. Now I've got to figure out a way to share this too. Oh my God, this screen's flipping out because I'm sharing it. You can't see the running game, can you?
No.
Yeah, I've got to share that. Hold on, I'll figure this out. There's no technical difficulties keeping us down this time. I ain't gonna do it. Hold on, where's it at?
You,
Where's it at?
you might make me wanna. Nah, I'm gonna keep mine top secret because like I have my whole I have a concept. I'll tell you after the show. But yeah,
All right. So you see it? Can you see it now?
yeah,
So I mean, this is just me testing out the
messing
game. This is not the game,
right.
but it's just because I was like working with trying to have like a guy follow you. You know how you can like make bullets
Hmm.
and stuff, and it's really incredibly simple with the Construct 2 engine, like incredibly simple. And I didn't realize how easy it was. You can
All
see I
right.
didn't make my land very far there, but I mean, like I've already gotten like this down, and you do animations where you kill him and he makes an explosion, and I mean, there's all kinds of cool stuff that you do, and it's just so easy. I mean, literally point and click, and it's just like, man, I got to do something. I mean, I've been wanting to make a game for Ouya forever, and with this
since,
engine, it's
since the day we
super
bought
simple to
them,
do.
right?
Yeah. Well, and with the Construct 2 engine, it's actually a pretty fair deal too, because basically they say, here you go, free engine, do what you want with it, make your game, have fun. And if you make over, I think it's like $5,000 or something, you
Right.
got to buy the professional version. And about you, but I'll spend the $300 on the professional version, which also gives you more features.
Right.
If I make 5 grand on a game, no problem.
Yeah.
I mean, and it, like I said, so easy to do. Now, the one bad part about this, for those people that don't know about the Construct 2 engine, is it does not export natively to Android. You have to use Cocoon JS wrapper, or I think it is.
Right.
Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, so you got to use that, and just basically kind of convert it over, and that's going to be a challenge because you we got to like, I don't know how the Ouya controller implements into Construct 2, but I know there's documentation on it. If need be, I'll have to talk to like Tim Grotman or somebody like that, and
Right.
just kind of have them steer you in the right direction, because I know people have used Construct 2 to develop games for Ouya.
Yeah. Like last week, our developer from Be Active used
Yep.
Construct too.
Exactly. I think he's the one that even said that Tim was the one who was helping him out.
Yeah. He talked. Yeah. And then I mean, there's when you were talking about the controller, I told you like I even mentioned like I was testing it on my computer and I actually used my Ouya to play the game on the like you can actually hook up your controller through Bluetooth and actually use it to control your character.
Yeah.
So it could be done. I think the only problem that I think is like any in-app purchasing. Trying to implement that, you have to have some kind of like JavaScript something. Which if I come out with a game, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna I don't know. But I'll
I
worry about that when I get to it.
Yeah, I think if we ever release a game here, it's going to be free definitely for the first one, just so I can kind of get it out there.
Right.
And even subsequent games, if I do decide to put a price tag on it, it's not going to be exclusively price tag, or I'm sorry, pay only. It's going to be demo as well.
Right. And with that construct too, you can actually like develop for everything pretty much. PC games, iOS, Android. I mean, there's tons of stuff, but you can make your game, exclusively for the Ouya, which that's what we plan on doing.
Yeah. I mean, with Construct 2, actually, like you said, you can export it to multiple platforms almost instantaneously. The only, I think, caveat there, like I said, is each device has its own, controller
Right.
support, or if it's going to be on a phone or a tablet, you got to put in touch support
Right.
and things like that. So there's challenges even still with something as simple as Construct 2, but it's not a lot of hardcore programming like you would see in something like even Unity, which is also a very nice programming language, I guess. But it's not really a programming language. It's a drag and drop, kind of thing. But you also can implement C sharp, J sharp, or whatever, J sharp, Java code. Sorry, I don't know where my mind's at right now. But yeah, with
Yeah,
this, it's very like click. This is what I want to happen. Here's how I want it to happen, and you're done. So.
all right. Yeah, it's pretty neat. I've been playing around with it, and maybe if we both play around with it enough, we can maybe eventually come out with Puss and Paws.
Yeah, buddy. I was thinking about that too.
Yeah.
I was like, I can make that game. I don't really know what the first game is I want to make. I've got like 2 or 3 ideas floating around, but we'll see. If anybody listening has any suggestions, a game you guys would like to see, definitely let us know, either in the chat window or email us or tweet at us or something. Maybe we'll get inspired.
Oh yeah, and yeah, hopefully we can do one game at least like together where we can combine our knowledge and make something together. That'd be cool.
Yeah, it really would be. My thing is I'm horrible at art stuff. Like I'm good at the programming stuff and like the logistics and all that and logical thought out type stuff. But God, I just suck at art. I can't put a background on top of a foreground on a pixel to save my life. It's just horrible. But everybody's got their strong suits, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Um, what else could we talk about? This episode's been just all over the place, crazy. I think our brains got fried from the electric shock.
Actually, I got a couple things here. First of all, because this is episode number 30, I could not possibly let this milestone slip without some kind of prize for our listeners. So
We have one live right now.
yeah, maybe. So yeah, I mean, especially people who have been with us through our first failed attempt at episode 30 and are still listening. I'm going to go ahead and give away a $5 redemption code so that you guys can pick up a game. I believe earlier you said the ball was $5, so maybe you guys can get that game while it's on sale.
Right. Or we can get 2 games for $5.
There you go. Whatever you guys want to spend it on.
Yeah, there's a couple of them that are $2.50.
Or you get 5 games if you pick them out right.
Yeah.
All right, so without further ado, here is your code, and hopefully lightning doesn't strike right in the middle of it and kick me offline again. It is BMFXJUPW47. Again, B as in boy, M as in mother, F as in Frank, X as in X-ray, J as in Jupiter, I don't know, U as in unicorn, P as in Papa, W as in whiskey, 47. And I'll get you $5 to spend on an Ouya game of your choice, or Ouya games of your choice, or to flush down the toilet. I don't know, man. We're just here to help you guys out.
Yep, thanks for being with us for 30 episodes. Wow.
I'm saying, man, we're like becoming industry standards here, or professionals. We're like, we point occasionally, or we're really good at lying. That's possible too.
What I was going to mention too is I mentioned on the first part of this episode, but Speed Rush came out last week and it's hitting the charts. People are quite receiving it quite well, and it was funded on Kickstarter, and I'm glad to see that it came out on the Ouya because it's an Ouya exclusive because I helped back it, so I was definitely glad to see it come. And I gave it a try, and it's like you said, it reminds you of Road Rash.
Yeah.
This one's more of like just a racing style. You can't hit nobody. But
well, I mean, if there's no violence in it, then
Yeah, you gotta keep it E for everyone.
So I mean, everybody has their own style of game. I like racing games, but there's got to be some kind of like something more to it than just the race for me. Like like I love Mario Kart because you throw shells and knock people out,
Banana
and
peels.
yeah, like there's got to be something more to it. Just racing, like I guess some of those games are fun, but like the only racing games that's only racing that I really like are the ones that you play like in the actual like moving racing car, like at arcade, like NASCAR. You know what I'm talking about, like the ones where you actually get in the race car and it like
Right.
tilts left and right. I love those games. Those are cool.
And then when you crash in the wall, you feel it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Fun times. So I don't know if you caught it, and I thought it was worth at least talking about a little bit. But about a year ago, we did our very first ever State of the Ouya address, kind of like the State of the Union, but State of the Ouya address. And then just the other day, we did our second State of the Ouya address, where it basically talked about where Ouya has been in the last year and what they've done in the last year since we, talked about it, and you know, what's changed, what's coming, that kind of stuff. And doing the State of the Ouya address really kind of makes me look back and see just how much really has changed over that year. I mean, think about where Ouya was 1 year ago to today compared to where they are now.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It was all free to try and a lot less games to keep up
Oh
with.
yeah,
Now there's so many, but we can't even play them all.
absolutely. And like you said, the free to try thing, that was a huge thing. That was kind of a shake up of the Ouya, because when they first said, we're bringing Ouya to the market, and this is what it's going to have, and every game is going to be free to try, and people were sold on that kind of stuff, like, oh my god, this is going to be awesome. You get to have demos of every game before you buy them, and then they kind of shifted on that a little bit, and there was, I think we said in there that there was some terms of service issues where they were kind of like coming out with some things that I know I was not very much in favor of when they revamped their terms of service, but yeah, I kind of got over that. We've seen the Ouya everywhere in the past year, so that was a big thing too.
Hmm. Yeah.
And also, we're now talking about the possibility of Ouya selling off to somebody. So there's quite a bit of issues that they've had, and like some hard times that they've had. But I went on and basically just I also said the good stuff too, like how you've always talked about the controller. They've upped their game on the controller. It's much more stable than it was during the original release. It's got a lot more, um, the connectivity is really good. You said that you can flash it if you send it into them, and it's like the wrong version. They'll flash it to a better firmware or something. Is that right?
Yep. I believe they still do that.
Okay, so like they've done that. They've come out with other iterations of the console, like the matte black one and the pure white one, the reading rainbow one, the whatever. There's always. I even think I saw somebody post a picture of like a gold one out there somewhere. It was like a bronze one. It didn't look like it was it
I
was
think
like
that
a
might have been.
custom job.
I think that might. It could have been one of the custom ones from the Kickstarter.
Oh,
You can get like
maybe.
a one that's engraved.
But they've also done other stuff, that has been really good, like the revamped UI, you know the additions to trying to help people learn how to program. I mean, the last year for Ouya has been incredible. I mean, there's a lot of ups and a lot of downs, and it's just been crazy. And I just kind of wonder where's it going to be in a year from now? When we're having this conversation 1 year from now, what are we going to be talking about? You know?
Uh, Hopefully we'll be talking about the Ouya 2. But yeah, definitely like I mean they're reaching out, they have the new partnership with that company out of China. So they're going to be on those devices over there. They're going to be on the WikiPad, they're on the Mojo, Mad Catz Mojo, and what other devices they're going to be on, I see, I see a bright future for them, and I hope they continue to go forward.
They're on that what was it, Nuvia NP1, or I forget the
Yep,
exact
that
name of it, but
yeah, the nanotech one. Yeah,
yeah, that's the one. So I see a really good future for them too, but you know, I've learned not to doubt when they say something that they're going to deliver on it, but I really wish they were more transparent with the timeline because, you know, we've heard since the Kickstarter in 2012 that, I mean, that's what, yeah, it's almost 3 years that's going to be going on since the Kickstarter saying yearly hardware refreshes. We're going to do this every year. We're going to have it. Then later on, it was the Ouya is always going to have a reference device. You know, it's always going to be this. And so far, it's just so obscure. Like, is there going to be an Ouya 2? Why hasn't it come out yet? It's been a year. You know, why isn't there an announcement? You know, and Ouya is very secretive about their stuff, and it's good because when they finally release it, you know, it's kind of like, oh wow, that's awesome. That's an amazing surprise. You know, go Ouya. But at the same time, it's kind of like I just want to know, you know, when it's coming out. Like, tell me it's coming out in another year. You know, tell me it's coming out, you know,
next
December
month.
31st, 2016. Just let me know when so that I can have something to look forward to. Because right now it's just floating around. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I give them kudos for keeping everything secret because you know, like Apple, they try to keep everything secret, and sometimes stuff gets out. And there's some companies, big companies, that stuff gets out that they didn't want to get out, and so I guess in a way they got to keep it secretive because they got to too consider what the competition is going to do. Yeah, they were the first ones to come out with an Android console, and now look, since then there's all these, you know, the Mad Cats and everybody else coming out with their own. So I don't know. We'll see what they do. I guess they're waiting, to see what the next person does. Maybe they're maybe by playing it like a chess game.
Well, and I totally get that too. You know, I mean, I totally get the wait and see mentality, but there's an upside to that and there's a downside to that, right? The upside is it's a smart business move because you get to play it safe, right?
All right.
Nintendo has been the grand master of this for many a year, right? Nintendo started out, they were the leader. They're the ones that, you know, came out with the original NES, Super NES. They were like really on top of it. And as the years progressed and the consoles progressed, they started taking a back seat. You know, it started with the Nintendo 64. Everybody was moving to CDs. You know, you had PlayStation, and then eventually you had the original Xbox, and Nintendo was like cartridges. And then finally they moved to CDs. And then, you know, with the Wii, they found a little bit of extra success because, you know, the whole motion controller thing. So there they kind of took leadership back and innovated, but they're always a step behind the competition, and that is safe, but you're not going to win over anybody if you're always a step behind. Apple is the opposite end of that. They always try to take the initiative. They always try to innovate. They always try to push forward. And I am not an Apple fan by any stretch of the imagination, but they, yeah, I'm not. But you know, they try to, you know, be the leader, and they try to always come up with something new and take crazy risks and say, this is what we're doing. This is, you know, the iWatch, for example. Like, you know, that's not anything new, but they're at least being the first ones to just kind of, like, not the first ones, but you know what I'm saying. Like, they're at least putting themselves out there. They're saying, no, this is what we're going to do. Here's how we're going to do it, and they're committing to it.
Hmm.
So, you know, that's a really good thing, and it's a really strong position for them to be in, but they also have the money and, you know, the bankroll to kind of back up, you know, that position. So, like I said, I
Yeah.
get both sides of it. I really do, but I kind of wish that there was more free flowing information, I guess, and just the plans of the future. So,
Yeah, I'm surprised that they came out with that video a couple of weeks ago, giving us a sneak peek of the updates that they're working on. That was kind of neat. I mean, I give them kudos for that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too, and you know, it seems like they're definitely more interested in the software aspect of Ouya than they are the hardware aspect, and I guess that was really just more my thought process and my concern was that, um, you see a lot of the software updates, and that's great, and I love it. Every time that you see one, there's something newer, bigger, and better. But then anytime the subject of hardware gets touched, it's like, zipped lips, nobody say anything other than when the hardware has to do with another company, like, hey, we're putting Ouya on this piece of hardware or something.
Right.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
What you gonna do, brother?
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to start my own hardware company, and I'm going to start my own Ouya. No.
So I think remember that one they got shut down. They like copied the whole Ouya and they were trying to sell it for like $300.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they preloaded XBMC on it, and they were trying to say that. Yeah.
Yeah, they got shut down. Ouya
Oh,
put
did they
it
really?
to them. Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
It was.
That's what happens. Don't mess around with that kind of stuff, man. It's no good. It's no bueno.
Don't mess with Ouya.
That's right. Or she will send Bob Mills down there to kick you in. No. I'm not going to say that. Speaking of which, not Bob, but I think that we were talking, and for the last OUYAcast where we had the OUYAN edition, and Jared Yeager said that he was interested in maybe coming on again and talking.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know I left him a comment. I said, Ouya is always welcome on the OUYAcast. And I said, hi, Julie. So hopefully she saw that. It was funny.
What's funny is if she was actually on the OUYAcast, I wonder, like, I would, I'd probably, like, fanboy out or something and just be like, oh, so what are you doing?
Yeah, I think we both would. Like, I know we were like little fanboys when she followed us on Twitter, and then she circled us on Google Plus.
Yeah, well, it's like I've tried. I've never actually directly spoken to her because I've tried once or twice to reach out for comments on, like, big stories and stuff like that, and never gotten a response back. But and I wouldn't. It doesn't bother me because I understand she's a busy person. She got a lot going on. I'm sure.
She's
Talking
running.
to me, yeah, talking to me probably isn't high on her priority list or anything like that. But one of these days, man, she's gonna say something, and
Yeah.
I'll like frame it, print it out, frame it, and stick it on my wall or something like that.
Yeah, but she does get, she's active on Twitter, and she comments on people's questions about games coming out and stuff. So, when she has time, she'll contact you.
Yeah, it's like one of those. The master will see you when.
The teacher will appear when the student is ready.
Exactly. Maybe she. Okay, so I just figured it out, right? She's waiting to announce the Ouya 2 on the OUYAcast. That's what it is.
Oh.
She's holding out, and she's gonna just come on here and blow the lid off this whole thing, man. She's gonna tell everybody that listens to the OUYAcast this is when the Ouya 2 is coming out, and that's why she hasn't talked to us or said anything about the Ouya 2. I figured it out. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for enlightening us.
Hey, man, I can make up stuff. I don't care.
Yeah, we'll start some rumors.
That's right. Don't make us start rumors.
Yeah. But
Heck yeah.
this was a pretty good episode, even considering our technical difficulties with the power and no Elgato game capture to capture the Ouya.
You know what this is? This is like an original episode, man. When we were like doing just audio, we had no developers lined up, we had no capture, we had nothing, just us.
This is a throwback episode. This is where we started from. We started from the bottom. Now we on the top.
Hey, we're on the top of the pile of stuff. I know people that try to do an Ouya, type podcast like really early on, and I think if you search YouTube, you could probably find it. But other than them, I haven't really seen anybody else try to do like an Ouya podcast. I know there's a guy. God, I'm so bad with names. What's the name of I think we even had him on, the one who does all the reviews for the games on YouTube, like all the Ouya games.
Oh yeah, the
yeah, that's the one.
Yeah,
Yeah, see, like he does that, but it's not really a a podcast. It's just playing games. Um, and then I think with that email that just came out where somebody is creating a Ouya magazine. Did you see that?
yeah, that was cool. That was like the
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
third edition that came out, so that was kind of
Yeah, I
cool.
read that, and it's a good little
Yeah, especially
it's interesting.
yeah. I mean, because like yeah, it was pretty cool. All the different articles and the games that are coming to Ouya. If you wanna,
I just kind of like that whole like magazine thing that he did where it, like flips through.
right? Well,
I don't
you,
know if that's like something he did or.
I think it might be like a programmer, a website that allows you to do that. But you probably looked on your computer. I was actually on my phone, and when I looked at it, and it works on mobile devices too, so it was cool.
Really?
Yeah,
Hmm.
it was cool.
I'll have to keep an eye on that because that seems pretty interesting.
Yeah, we might have to
So,
get him on here too. Talk about
yeah,
Ouya.
definitely. You
'Cause I
could
know,
always use some more input.
yeah, because I know we plan on trying to do another Ouyan episode one of these days when we have get some big exclusive Ouya news, like a Ouya 2 out or something like that, you know? We
I
can
think
all,
the Ouyan edition went pretty well overall.
yeah, give everybody enough time to speak their opinions and their mind, and tell like a lot of them, there's a lot of them that do Ouya reviews of game plays on YouTube, uh, you know, talk about Ouya news, developers, there's quite a few people that are essentially it's such a small community, but there's still a lot of people involved and doing different little stuff here and there.
Oh, absolutely. And going back to the state of the Ouya address, that was kind of my closing note was, it doesn't really matter. I mean, of course it does. That's just dumb to say, but it doesn't really matter what Ouya does as far as if it's never going to come out with another Ouya or they're just going to sell off or they're going to stay in business and come out with 10 more Ouyas. Whatever the case may be, the greatest thing about Ouya hands down has got to be the community. I mean, people have come together all in the spirit of this console, and you've got people teaching people how to program, you got people programming for the first time, people doing artwork, podcasts, magazines and things like that. And it's just that whole spirit of the Ouya that's really most important, and that's why we do this, and that's why we do things like the Ouyan episode, so that everybody can just get involved in the community. Because you're not going to find that kind of like camaraderie and that kind of acceptance and patience and stuff like that with any other group of gamers like that. You go on Xbox and you get called 30 expletive names before you can even take a breath. So,
All right,
it's definitely a much better community here, and I welcome anybody, of course, that wants to add to that.
yeah. I mean, like if Ouya wraps up shop and they just disappear, the Ouya console's still going to be here. The community's still going to be here. So we can. I think we can manage a little bit by ourselves, pretty much. With the community, people wanting to develop, on a cheap console. If like people starting off, you got to start off somewhere. So
Hmm.
I really see Ouya community just everybody sticking together and trying to help each other.
I wonder what would happen if we actually did just close up shop, because you have to, like, you wouldn't be able to update the store at all. So like you'd have to figure out a way
Yeah,
to
you're
like
right.
put the store somewhere else, like where people could just upload it or somebody could take control of it.
Yeah, that's true. So what I need to hurry up and do is just download every game possible
Well,
as a backup. I'll be their backup server.
what you could do, like say the Discover Store didn't even work, you would just have to figure out a way to sideload the APK files for everything,
Yeah.
which you could do easily. But I don't know if like sideloading them is any different than just loading them straight on to from the Discover Store. Basically, I don't know if the Discover Store passes something along, which I don't think it does, because everything should be contained in that APK file. But you never know, man.
Yeah, that's just us dreaming. But hopefully, or just I don't know. but not
That's not a
dreaming.
dream. That'd be a
But
nightmare if they.
yeah, that's a nightmare. But yeah, we don't wish that on anybody. But
Definitely not, man.
yeah, that's it for this week. Unless you have anything else, what I was just gonna say is next week, stay tuned to the OUYAcast. We're gonna have developer Cohen Hacken. He's the developer of Shadow Light, The Power of the Dark. He's gonna be on here with us live. Hopefully, hopefully no power outages.
No power outages. I was about to say that.
But yeah, he'll be with us. He's got a game on the Ouya store right now. It's called Shadow Light. Go try it out. It has a free demo. He'll be on the show next week, and that's pretty much it. You can contact us on Twitter at Ouya Central TV and at Ouya Brew. You follow us on our websites, ouyacentral.tv and ouyabrew.com.
Mm-hmm. And of course, if you guys ever want to see us cover anything, I mean, like we just said earlier, we are all about the community. We're here to help. If you guys have any suggestions, if you want to see anything on the website, you want to hear anything on the OUYAcast, you want us to do a review of something, you want us to see if we can beat your high score at a game, something, just let us know, man. I mean, we are completely down to earth, have fun kind of guys, and we're just trying to do this thing day by day. So definitely let us know, and we'll be there for you.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Thanks for listening. Catch you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.